Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers! Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is TONIA, and today we are talking about original thinkers, baby, and how to identify that in a birth chart. Isn't that an interesting concept? I thought so, because I had so much fun doing the Aquarius forecast for the next 6 months that I was like, let me do a video on that so people understand what makes an original thinker. And if you are an original thinker, you probably have one of these strong indicators in your birth chart. But before we get into the juicy details, make sure that you're subscribed if you're not already, because we are going ahead and putting out videos every single day. So the content is here for you, be here for it, okay? Hit the bell, all that jazz, hit the like button by the end if it brings you value. You know, you're an original thinker, you're already on the program, you know what I mean? But with that said, what are some of the key indicators that you can find in a birth chart that will really show you, holy guacamole, this person has many original thoughts, not just one, right? First things first, if they have strong Aquarius energy anywhere in their birth chart, that's the Ascendant, the Sun, the Moon, but also significant points, such as the cardinal points or the anchor points. So those are like your midheaven especially, and the rising, okay? I already said Ascendant, but if you have those key points activated with Aquarius energy, it could be the 7th house, it could be the IC down at the 4th house cusp. But if there is Aquarius energy there, and that's the sign Aquarius or the planet Uranus, that is a very strong indicator that that person is going to be a very original thinker, okay? Now, if they have Uranus as a planet conjunct any one of their 3 primary points, Ascendant, Sun, and Moon, that's also a very strong indicator of original thought. The third thing to look for is Uranus in some strong aspect with maybe not the Ascendant, Sun, and Moon, but say Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of communication, the planet of thought, and in ancient astrology, Mercury along with the Sun were the 2 planets that you looked at to determine intellect in the chart. So if the person has Mercury or the Sun even in a strong aspect with Uranus, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, if it's like a compatible, easy flowing trine sextile conjunction, or if it's an opposition square kind of tough energy. In any way that it is strongly activated, it's gonna have an impact. And the closer the orb of influence, that's the degrees of difference. If it's like 3 degrees especially of separation from one of those points, if it's like a conjunction especially, then it's like extra relevant, you know, but even by whole sign, we still count that. We definitely still count that, okay? Those are some of the things. Another thing is, you know, it's not just Aquarius energy when you have original free thinking kind of like genius energy. It's also Aries energy, because Aries rules the head in ancient astrology. So if you have Aries on one of those points, same goes for that. Or for that matter, Mars can bring a quick mind when it's with Mercury, but not necessarily original thinker. It can be, because, you know, Aries is the sign of the warrior and the independent, but Mars has many layers to it. Mars has more than most people want to give it credit for. Mars is, yeah, the planet of action and drive and manliness and, you know, virility and all that, but Mars is also the planet of initiation and ingenuity at a certain level, especially if we look at it from an ancient planetary palette. They weren't working with Uranus yet at that point in time. So if we look at that, Mercury with Mars especially, because Mercury's wit, okay, and Mars is aggression, but also force and this ingenious kind of energy that comes along with the entrepreneur, with the person who stands up for something. It takes on a different quality when Mars is in aspect with, say, Uranus or Mercury, okay? Mercury as well is how you find original thinkers, but Mercury has to be doing something very prominent in the chart, and if you want to look at it like you're not your average, you know, Joe or whatever, Mercury has to be doing something very significant. It's a quick, witty planet, so it's usually talking with something else, because it's like such a quick planet. It's like hard to avoid touching other planets almost, you know? But with that said, just look at what it's doing. It'll have one of those unique signatures where it's on the midheaven or it's on the Ascendant. Mercury in the first house is like makings for a genius just by that, because it's actually the happiest place for Mercury according to ancient astrology. So if you have Mercury in the first house, that's like extra significant. Generally speaking, any planet in the first house is hella significant, but Mercury especially is going to really give you this idea of like, oh my god, they're an original thinker, like that person has a lot of energy in their mental space to think of different ideas that other people just aren't thinking all the time. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the like if it brought you, you know, value, all that jazz, you know what I'm saying? Put a comment down below, show me some love, be like, hey girl, be like, hey, you know, whatever. And with that said, my friend, through next time, and until next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.